Namaste. Let's talk about Uttar Pradeshi and Bihari migrants today. Statistical data from the Census 2011 and the NSSO highlights that Bihar and UP contribute the highest number of interstate migrants in India, with cities like Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Bangalore being the top destinations. These migrants typically take up low paying informal jobs in construction, manufacturing, and service sectors. These migrations, as per the study by International Institute of Population Sciences, typically occurs from Mid-Ganga Plain, which constitutes of 80% Hindus, formed majorly by SC and OBC populations. Hence, they typically face discrimination on the basis of caste, language, and dietary choices. The study points out that the main reasons for these migrations were poverty compulsion, landlessness, insufficient food, and unemployment or irregular employment. Another observation made is with regard to return migration. While Mid-Ganga Plain migrants acquire technical skills, accounting skills, etc. from their migration, when they return to their home state, their post-employment status remains primary sector-based, like that of a cultivator or a wage laborer. It is for these very reasons that worker population ratio and labor migration, which are negatively correlated, show consistent trends with high migration. There is a definite need for better government reforms in the states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh to assure lesser migration by way of better opportunities, amenities, and social order. It is observed that the favorable schemes like Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, National Old Age Pension Scheme, Sukanya Samriddhi, etc., are heard by a higher percentage, but very less are actually utilizing it to their benefit. However, in eastern Uttar Pradesh, in comparison to 31% of the non-migrant households, the utilization is higher in both migrant and return migrant households at 36% each. Not so much difference was observed across household types in Bihar. However, is internal migration really so negative? Not at all. It is the reality of a positive economic growth. Harris-Todaro model, Lewis model of structural change, endogenous growth theory, you name any economic model or theory, they all suggest rural to urban migration causing accumulation of human capital, higher wages, labor market adjustments, higher overall productivity. Better yet, they all use India's migration trends as a facilitator of positive empirical evidence. Despite facing prejudice, Bihari and Uttar Pradeshi migrants have undeniably contributed to the urban economy. Many of the major industries in cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, and Ahmedabad rely heavily on migrant labor from these very states. For instance, the construction industry in Mumbai, the textile industry in Surat, the service sector in Bengaluru, they would struggle to function without the labor provided by migrants from these states. A 2019 study by the Center for Development Studies found that labor migration has a positive impact on the household income of migrants. The study found that average household income of migrants was 30% higher than average household income of non-migrants. However, the study also found that labor migration harms the education and health of migrants' children. The study found that children of migrants were more likely to drop out of school and less likely to receive adequate health care. Other studies cite that the large majority of this migrant population can only send back 12,000 rupees as remittance annually. This indicates lack of labor rights, relegation costs, narrower job avenues, and economic exclusion. Now, let's discuss colloquial realities. Somebody much older than I am suggested that Uttar Pradeshis were either bureaucrats or you know what. What is that thing I must know but is unmentionable? Labor, मजदूरी, दिहाड़ी का काम. तुम्हारे शहर बना के वापस घर चले गए हम. I don't have to discuss the literature, history, or art of Purvanchal. I don't have to go that further back. Let's talk about Tamil Nadu. Why did this government fast-track solving migrant attacks? Why did Stalin's government invite Nitish Kumar to inaugurate a library commemorating Karunanidhi? Tamil Nadu has annual demands of Bihari labor to make Tamil Nadu. Look at Tirupur, Coimbatore, or even their hospitality industry. They don't have enough workforce themselves. Karnataka does not have enough electricity, so it rents from Uttar Pradesh. And trust me, the demands would be the same if everyone went back to where they came from. Gujarat and Maharashtra have an infamous history of conducting loots and attacking kingdoms in Purvanchal in history, like the Gujarat Pratiharas and the Maratha expansion. Therefore, this act of sharing resources is atonement. Ladies and gentlemen, do not think that this structure of holding together federalism or freedom of internal migration as promised by Article 19 is a unilateral benefit. It is very much reciprocated. We are intertwined as a republic. The Purvanchali folk culture talks volumes of palayan, internal migration, like the excerpt from Gopal Maurya's folk lyrics in Bhojpuri. Le gaye le hamra ke papi beimanwa, Angrej apne watanwa oho. They deceived and took me away and caged me onto their land. This song remembers the pain of forced labor during the British. But how have we, as a sovereign country, mend our ways, brought justice to the impoverished seeking fiscal emancipation? Do not forget, they are also the ones who form the majority in swaying political mandate and upholding the capitalist aspirations of our economy. Viewers, our fellow countrymen are facing loosened family ties, overburdened women, lack of girl children education, hiding health issues from families, causing increased addictive substance consumption. Let's join hands to remedy these issues. Let's decondition our minds. Take another step to true Indianness, another step to harmony. Jai Ma Gange, Jai Purvanchal.